This is a patch of land next to Baywest Mall in Port Elizabeth, South Africa. Sandstone fynbos is what would naturally occur here, and I think this piece of land has been cleared in the past, probably about 6 years ago, when the mall was built, or at least partially disturbed. But a lot of fynbos elements have remained or have sort of come back into the system. So for example, here's a very common shrub in this area is Metalasia aurea, and we have some things that also common in this more disturbed area, like this Hermania, member of the Malvaceae family. Some Helichrysum asperum as well. A lot of bare soil and a lot of grasses coming in, and some other things like Port Jackson willow. So those are some signs of disturbance. So just on the other side of this large stand of Acacia saligna, Port Jackson willow, there's quite a large area of sort of untouched fynbos, Gqeberha sandstone fynbos. There's also a wetland in that area which houses the critically endangered and localized Cyclopia pubescens, a honeybush species. There's also like critically endangered buchu species here as well, Agathosma monaquiensis. Just show you it over here. So these you'll find in shallower sort of rocky outcrops in this fynbos type, which matches the current patch of land I'm on now. The springbok family is also quite fairly well represented here. This is just one example. This is a Struthiola argentea. So I'm not sure if you'll be able to count the amount of floral sort of bracts or the inflorescence, but there's 12. That's what separates it from the other Struthiola species in this immediate area, which have 8 normally. And right next to it is a member of the Fabaceae. This is Aspalathus, probably Cetaceae. No flowers, but it is fruiting, if you can recognize the legume pods. Another springbok over here. This is Struthiola parviflora. Yeah, so that's the mall right over there. Surrounding the mall is an almost continuous stand of Port Jackson willow, small forest. And on the other side of the stand of Acacia saligna of the Port Jackson is more untouched fynbos. But a surprising amount of diversity in this area, because there has been so much disturbance here. As you can see, it's getting overly grassy on that side. So this is also very common here. Many individuals of this Gqeberha. We have other fynbos elements like this Gqeberha. Another invasive Australian wattle species is the black wattle, Acacia mianzii. Looks like it's just popping up here. It's actually one of the worst invaders in the world globally, especially in riparian areas around Port Elizabeth. Quite prominent is also this plant over here. A native plant, definitely looks like it could be Anthospermum rubiaceae. Some flowers of an Aspalathus, probably Aspalathus cortophylla, low-growing ericoid shrub. Typical papilionaceous flowers common in the Fabaceae. You can see some leguminous pods as well just below that flower. I'm just reaching the perimeter of this very small patch of land. As you can see, some landscaping now brought in. I think this is Dietes and Nephofia they're using, with some coral trees along the edge of the roads to the mall. Still a lot of native plants close by, as Phylica ericoides, very common around here. Apologies, Phylica nidioides. Some more Abdul-lateef, and this looks like it could be an Erica. Indeed it is Erica zahariana. I read list the species here as well. I think it's listed as vulnerable or near threatened. So that adding to the CR, critically endangered Agathosma gonoquiensis. Another member of the Fabaceae is a Gqeberha capensis. Pinnate leaves, typical Fabaceae flower, and some nectar guides, some pollen guides in the middle, just beneath the banner petal. The Eastern Cape is quite famous for this particular plant family. I guess it's really diverse in the Eastern Cape. This is the Azoaceae, and this is a Lampranthus. I did mention earlier that a wetland is quite close by, and this is a very typical wetland species is Botanising, probably Myrtifolia, member of the Fabaceae family. And just another native legume. This is a small little prostrate shrub, Lotononis azurea, very charismatic flowers, a deep royal blue with that conspicuous yellow nectar guide in the middle.